system. Its intestine, large or small?
Large?
Large.
Is it because there's a
Why is it large?
cirrhosis?
Flat topped up here, there's no villi. We do have large intestinal glands. In between, you can see your lamina propria. Okay. And what's this right here?
Muscularis mucosa.
Muscularis mucosa. So here up, that's the mucosa of the large intestine. Here's our submucosa. Submucosa of large intestine. All the way down here. Submucosa. Okay. Which tunic is this? Submucosa, then
That has to be muscularis.
Okay. Which layer? Circular. Circular layer. Here's your longitudinal. What's this in between? Auerbach's plexus. Auerbach's plexus. And let's see. What about this right here?
Is that serosa?
That's the serosa. Large intestine. You can see the serosa. Here's the muscularis, longitudinal layer, circular layer. There's Auerbach's plexus in between those two. Then the submucosa. Then there's our mucosa.
The lamina propria, does it include those tall circles of the
No, those are intestinal glands that were cut at an angle. Now they're finger-like this, but what if it's like that? See, the microphone blade goes through, you get this little oval instead. Okay. There's your muscularis mucosae. From there up, that's mucosa, and there you can see the absence of villi tells you we're in the large intestine. Stomach. All right. We see a columnar epithelium here, but we don't see any goblet cells in it. The large intestine had lots of goblet cells in columnar epithelium. What are these?
Gastric pits.
Gastric pits.
I know that.
Gastric pits. What's all these down here?
Gastric glands.
We've got gastric pits and gastric glands. Down at the bottom, I see a little bit of lamina propria right in here. And what is this?
That is muscularis.
Muscularis mucosa. It's going to be the most humongous on this slide.
How can you tell what's the lamina propria?
It's the connective tissue. It doesn't have all these pink and dark purple staining cells in it. If we go back up here, we can see it here underneath the columnar epithelium. It's lamina propria. This is the gastric glands here with those parietal cells, mucous neck cells, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then down here we get a glimpse of it. Right in here. We're out of gastric glands. There's your muscularis mucosa. So from there up, that's the mucosa. This is our submucosa. And then we go farther down. And then our muscularis. And we've got circular layer,
longitudinal layer,
and a little bit of
Auerbach's
plexus in between. There's some Auerbach's plexus in between the circular and longitudinal muscle layers. And on the outside edge here, that's our serosa. Fundic stomach. We just see circular and longitudinal layers in this because we're in the fundus of the stomach, and the oblique layer doesn't start until we get into the body. Okay, so that's stomach. What do you think? Stomach, small intestine, large intestine, small intestine. Villi. You see villi and intestinal glands. There's our lamina propria. We've got goblet cells galore. Yeah. Loads of goblet cells. So that's a villus. Simple column epithelium with goblet cells. In the stomach, there are no goblet cells in simple column epithelium. This is our lamina propria. These are intestinal glands. What's that?
Muscular.
Muscularis mucosa. Here's our lamina propria. Let's see here. Let's drop down a little further here. Okay. And now, where are we in the small intestine?
Ileum?
Ileum. The reason?
The Peyer's patches?
These things. Peyer's patches. Lymphatic nodules, the part of the malt, the mucosa associated with lymphatic tissue, only gets this large in the ileum of the small intestine. Get this large in the duodenum or the jejunum, only in the ileum. Those are Peyer's patches. When you see those, you know that you're in the ileum. There's our submucosa, and then hair, okay, and then the little macerated right there. There we go. There's our muscularis. Okay.
So where's our Auerbach plexus?
Circular, longitudinal, Auerbach's plexus in between. And then out here, serosa.
Is the submucosa plexus?
Is what now?
Oh gosh, do I have that term?
Submucosa?
Yeah, myenteric
Yeah,
plexus.
myenteric plexus. If we find, that's where it would be, the myenteric. If we look for a grouping of an artery and a vein together, we can probably find a little bit of it. Also, it's much smaller. And, let's take a look here. Artery, vein. Once in a while you can catch a glimpse of it here where an artery and a vein together. Artery, vein, and nerve often grouped together in kind of a triad here. It's hard to find. We'll identify it off our model.
Oh, okay.
It's hard
That's a
to
good
find.
one.
If we looked around long enough, we could find a little piece of it. Okay.
But it's easier to see the Auerbach plexus on the
No,
slides than
Auerbach's
it
plexus
is.
is no problem. This is the
Okay.
big nerve plexus.
All right.
Meissner's is quite small.
Just on the model.
Yeah.
We'll just leave this right on the model.
Yeah.
And is that,
Mucosa associated with lymphatic tissue. But when they get that big, they spill over into the submucosa and the
kind of dark purple staining, right?
dark purple stain. With a germinal center in the center of the dark purple with a light center. That's a germinal center. That's where the immune responses are going. B cells are becoming plasma cells and so on. Okay, where are we here? Stomach, small intestine, large intestine? Small intestine because of these. These are villi.
Villi.
Okay. And we see intestinal glands, villi, intestinal glands. There's our muscularis mucosa, our lamina propria. Let's see what else we can see up here. And this is the goblet cells. Let's try and take this one up a little higher. Okay. There we go. There's our simple columnar epithelium. See the simple columnar epithelium. There's the goblet cells, spewing some mucus. What about this faint stripe along the edge here? Brush border. It's the brush border. Strip of microvilli. That's in the small intestine. You don't have that in the stomach. You don't have that in the large intestine. That's the strip of microvilli we call the brush border. Increases your surface area 20 times. The villi 10 times, and leaky circularis 3 times. So 3 times 10 is 30 times 20, 600. You get 600 times the surface area in the small intestine that we would have if it were just a smooth bore pipe, like a piece of PVC pipe or something. Okay. So we're in the small intestine, but where in the small intestine are we?
Duodenum?
And you know this because Brunner's glands, we are in the duodenum. These filling your submucosa are Brunner's glands, big mucus secreting glands that are only in the duodenum, not in the jejunum or the ileum, because the duodenum is just right outside the stomach, and mucus is protection against stomach acid. So mere goblet cells is not enough protection. In the duodenum, you need these big mucus secreting glands to secrete copious amounts of mucus to neutralize the hydrochloric acid coming in from the stomach. Well, Brunner's glands means we're in the duodenum. There's our the rest of our submucosa. Here's our muscularis, okay. Circular layer, okay. Longitudinal layer, Auerbach's plexus in between. And right there is our serosus. I pulled away that little bit of our serosus. Here's our serosus. Okay. Let's see here.
Will we be able to see a lacteal in any of these? Or in, okay.
We'll see those on our model.
Model only.
Okay, let's see. All right, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Small intestine. Those are villi. They're a little bit macerated. Those are villi. And then we've got, let's see, look at that one there. There's a villus. We've got our simple columnar epithelium with goblet cells. So the small intestine. There's our lamina propria. Intestinal glands, muscularis mucosae. There's our submucosa. Here's our muscularis, the circular layer, the longitudinal layer, Auerbach's plexus. Faint stripe on the outside there. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Glimpse of our serosa along there. Here's longitudinal layer, circular layer. And there's a little bit of Auerbach's plexus in here. Shows better than the other slides. Okay, let's see back down here. Okay, so we're in the small intestine, but where in the small intestine? Jejunum. Jejunum. And you know this because no Peyer's patches in the mucosa and no Brunner's glands in the submucosa. So,
but with
jejunum.
villi.
If we were in the duodenum, we'd see the submucosa full of Brunner's glands. If we were in the ileum, we'd see these humongous
Gotta type up these
Peyer's
names.
patches in the mucosa. We have neither, so it means we're in the jejunum. Let's see if you can find a lymphatic nodule in here, what they look like. And we still get that big in the other parts of the intestine, you overlook them. You see even a small one here. But they get huge in the ileum. And no Brunner's glands in this, that's jejunum. Okay. Oh, that's our slides.